So I don't really spend a lot of time or use a lot of bandwidth trying to predict the future. I don't think I'm smarter than anyone else and can really tell you what's coming. Without question, AI is an incredible tool that will speed up advancement in many parts of society. But artists are at the center of a unique dilemma. Looking back, you can see throughout history, jobs and even industries become obsolete with new technology. That seems to be the norm. Still, technology that can do our job and threaten our livelihood is nothing to take lightly. From mastering software to AI artists on streaming platforms, the AI revolution has quietly crept into our day-to-day with little resistance. And with AI images and video content, the threat has never been more concerning. With Google's recent VO3 release, it's hard not to feel like the future is downright bleak for content creators. But there is one very important aspect of this conversation that I always think about that doesn't seem to be talked about very much, which is the experience of making art and our innate need to connect and express ourselves. I sit here now in front of the studio desk that I built with my own hands in the 5th incarnation of my recording studio. I built my first studio, which was a single room with a window adjacent to a rehearsal space, way back in 1997. Building out and refining creative spaces has been something that's part of the joy of what I do. And not all of what I built was without help. I was lucky enough to work with and collaborate with people that had their own talents. And those relationships created so many of the opportunities. In the early days of my career, we were signed by a major label, and the benefits of that gave me the resources to speed track the process of building a studio, buying gear, and creating a space where I could make records. And I think that also says a lot about the notion of cooperation and collaboration and how important it is to work with others to make things happen. AI will never replace your community and everything that grows from those relationships. My advice to anyone interested is don't try and fit in. Don't do what everyone else is doing. The more strange, unique, weird, and authentic work you're doing, the better. You should be curating your own unique perspective, not an appropriated version of everyone else's. Things like your musicianship, your performances, in-person engagement, anything physical or tangible should all be prioritized to promote your creative endeavors. And try to support anyone doing the same. I'm not saying anything revolutionary here. Also, all the technological conveniences we embrace make it easier for us to isolate. So again, don't underestimate the community and connection to your audience, in whatever form that takes. Authenticity and connection will never become obsolete. And the traditional wisdom of don't spread yourself too thin if you want to be successful, or that you have to put all your focus on that one skill to succeed, just won't work anymore. That advice isn't practical. And it also implies that monetary gain is the only definition of success. Speaking from experience, there's an artistic freedom that comes from having a pay-your-bills career while simultaneously working on your art. And for the younger people at the beginning of their story, there's definitely a period where you can focus most of your time and energy on building a career in the arts. But you will need to figure out if and when to diversify your time, to make sure you have an alternate means of supporting yourself. Not to give up on your artistic goals, but to make sure you don't end up in a vulnerable position. I read a comment recently and it said, "Why create anything anymore? AI will steal it and sell it." My response to that sentiment is, what gets you out of bed in the morning? Speaking for myself, the act and experience of creating is the only thing that's really ever motivated me. I've had so many different jobs over the years, and the ones that had no sense of completion, where I didn't have anything tangible to show for my work, were always the hardest for me. But art as a job is a strange arrangement. When you're trying to do it for a living, there's all sorts of trade-offs. But wanting to run a business is not why I ever started. It's not why I do it. It's not why I continue to do it. And that's likely the same for a lot of you. For many, many years, I've made money, struggled to make money, got in debt, got out of debt, trying to run my studio. There's so many ups and downs, and I guess it never really mattered, at least not to me. I have to live my life, experience my day-to-day just like everyone else. I try to fill my days with something that I feel is worthwhile, to hopefully do work that's rewarding, that others might appreciate, that allows me to feel more connected to other people. But art is not self-indulgence. It's not frivolous or an unnecessary luxury, or an activity that only should be validated if you can make money from it. As Brian Eno said, you don't work music, you play music. When you're at play, you're exploring things, and the consequences feed back into your life. And that's the point I'm trying to make. AI will never replace the experience I'm having when I make music. My life isn't a product, it's a process that's happening in real time. For the majority of history, people have created art and never made a dime from it. Making a living at it is the outlier. But creating art gives you something, and to me that's a lot. Maybe it's everything. So here's to all the artists. I see you, I appreciate you, and your music may have even saved my life on a few occasions. So I'll just keep doing what I've always been doing, making things. And if AI is another item on the list of why it's too hard to make money with art, so be it. I'd love to know your thoughts about this subject. Please hit the subscribe button, and thanks for watching.